Welcome to the Almighty Kings podcast. I'm your guy, Almighty Mackie, and today we are back. Big salute to Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM, Overcast, Breaker, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everybody who's been showing love, Ireland, UK, Australia, Africa, everybody been tapping in with the Almighty Kings. We gonna keep this thing pushing. We gonna keep making this thing global. Now, let's continue. As we said, man, like on the last podcast, I remember I spoke about how smoke and mirrors are basically a format of life that you have to understand to avoid when dealing with people. You feel what I'm saying? So dealing with people with smoke and mirrors. My one thing is a lot of people dislike me for the way that I am. So I got certain ways of how I operate, and I identify it and I erase it right then. Okay? First, if you are a person who is constantly trying to tell me somebody else's business, number one, I know you talk too much. Number two, I know you nosy as a motherfucker. And three, you can potentially be a snitch. Okay, that's how that shit works. So anybody who talks too much about other people's business ain't somebody I trust, period. Second off, a nigga or a person or a female or anybody who hangs with everybody. You get what I'm saying? If you got too many friends, if everybody is your friend and everybody is your homie and you ain't got no enemies, bro, we can't hang, man. We can't hang. I don't like people that don't know how to decipher people. Do you understand? When you think everybody is your fucking friend, that means you are too afraid to understand the difference. That's the difference. Because when you lose a friend, it could cause a potential confrontation, which a lot of people don't want, which is a part of life. See, when you lose that whole fear of confrontation, that's what a lot of cowards have. That's why they speak in circles, or they'll speak in mirrors, or they'll speak in metaphors, because they don't have the heart to tell you exactly what's on their mind. So they'll speak around it just so you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I'm burping this shit. But anyway, and let's proceed. So next thing, a person who ain't got a clear focus on what they want to do is a big turnoff for me. Because you got to understand, man, I'm trying to pull myself out the grave. You don't get that part. Like, you don't understand what being buried alive damn near is, but still walking around. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody understand that part. And then when you pull yourself up out of that, this is after everybody stomped on me. You know, they reported my name over 263 times to different agencies between the times of 2014 to 2018. Does anybody know this? Yeah, this is something that don't nobody know. So while I'm on the run from parole, they ain't coming to come snatch me up, and people are reporting my name to different agencies, different confidential informants, might I say. And after all that, man, after they stomped on me, man, stabbed me in the back, tried to bury me alive, I pulled my motherfucking self up out of there, man, and we didn't have nobody. See, the thing is, like, motherfuckers will see what's going on and be like, you know, man, how this shit just happened? Man, it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different things where in order to get in order, you got to shave the fat. There's a lot of motherfuckers who are in your life that don't mean good for your life. They just there. That's like hanging on the lames for no reason. You get what I'm saying? Leave a lane where a fucking lane is supposed to be at, bruh, and keep it pushing. Simple. Once a nigga show you some lame shit the first time, nigga, your ass is cut, bruh. That shit over with. You show me some pump faking bitch shit one time, that shit over with. I test niggas. I test them real quick. Check it out. I got something going on over here, bruh. I need to come get you. Let me slide with me real quick. Just watch my back so I can see, you know what I'm saying, so I can get this out the way. They got a million things to do all of a sudden. Nigga, you's a bitch. That shit cut. You's a sucker forever. That's just what it is, nigga. You pump fake on me one time, nigga, and I ain't never double pumped on you, nigga. Come on now. This is where life, where it changes over, where we got to understand, man. When dealing with life, you better learn how to identify certain shit about people. You get what I'm saying? When the shit don't add up, it ain't adding up for a reason. When a motherfucker move funny, they move funny. But when a motherfucker moves solid to a bunch of funny motherfuckers, they move secretly or they got something to hide. And you goddamn right, nigga, I got my life to hide from you weird motherfuckers. Because it's funny, anything you tell any of these motherfuckers, it ends up in police motherfucking in investigations and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like you can say, hey man, I went to the store up the fucking street and it ends up in a motherfucking CIA informant goddamn affidavit some fucking weird. This is how this shit works. This is why you don't trust everybody. This is why you don't trust nobody. You trust a motherfucker to be exactly who they said they was gonna be. And when they show you otherwise, you go at they motherfucking ass like the Daytona 500. That's how I was always taught. I was raised on that. Once a motherfucker cross you once with that, you make their asses feel it. And then you cut their asses off, unless you think it's worth keeping their asses around. But literally at that point, man, it's your call. Because literally the unnecessary bullshit that they brought into your life did not need to be there. And that unnecessary bullshit is only there because of them. They brought all the bullshit. So you cutting them erases all that bullshit. Because that person, instead of being a grown person and cutting off the bullshit, they brought the bullshit with them, and the bullshit destroyed whatever the fuck was going on in the future. Because the old bullshit, that was always old bullshit, that was never prosperous, but it was just tagging along, it just sat there. It never did anything. That's why it never connected back. So when you pulling baggage and bullshit with you every motherfucking where, and you realizing why you can't get nowhere, well, maybe because you're being weighed down by a bunch of lame-ass bullshit. And that at that point, you got to start putting people in that category. Nah, you are the company you keep. If you like to hang and stay in contact and fuck with a bunch of lame motherfuckers, then that's what you are. And you leave their asses there blood and you keep it pushing. Because if you continue to drag the motherfuckers along with you, nigga, you will eventually fall and or you will die. Because a lame will end up getting a drop on you from this lame motherfucker that you fuck with. That likes to fuck with lame motherfuckers. This is how it works, bruh. You got to learn how to stand on something, man. You got to decipher friends from enemies, from goofy motherfuckers, from weak motherfuckers, from strong motherfuckers. You got to realize a nigga that's angry from a nigga that's strong. You got to understand a motherfucker that's weak from a motherfucker that's crying. The nigga that's crying might just be crying because of something that's going on. The nigga that's weak might show you a motherfucking strength that's all fake. When you dealing with this part of life, you got to go with circumstantial evidence of what that motherfucker is and what they do and what they've done. That's how you got to look at shit. If I see a nigga that move funny around me, bro, you got to go. You got to go. You doing too much weird shit, you got to go. Because I'm not taking a second chance with my first life. Do you understand that part? And when people get that, they'll learn how to move better. When in life, man, deciphering people, man, is one of the world's biggest keys. Because people are your only imminent danger. You can see a natural disaster coming. It happens automatically, but you actually have a chance to save yourself in the middle of a natural disaster. But a person will walk you into your own death and you won't never see it coming. And then they'll play like they didn't know what the fuck was going to happen while they planted the seeds the whole fucking time for it to happen. But when you're dealing with motherfuckers that don't know how to decipher goofies from lames, from real motherfuckers, well, you're going to have a whole mixed bowl of bullshit. And I'd advise you to take your spoon, take your fork, take your chair, get up and get the fuck away from that table because what they feeding you is poison and they eventually kill your ass one day. I am Almighty Mackie. This is the Almighty Kings podcast. We are global. Big shout out to Apple, Spotify, Anchor, everybody been tapping in with us, all the countries around the world. Let's keep building. Let's keep growing. Almighty Kings, Almighty World, and this is an Almighty Universe. And I am Almighty Mackie. And I'm out.